Hey everyone, my name's Walter, still alive and everything. We're back here today to talk about nice guys. Nice guys are guys who will talk your ear off about how nice they are, how they deserve a chance, how they're passed up for assholes. Being nice includes giving you things and complaining about it when you don't want to date them, and other such cringy actions. You probably already know, honestly, but let's get started with Nicest Guys from Reddit. The last time I used this title, several people thought they read Incest Guys from Reddit, so if you thought you clicked on that, you might be disappointed. These are stories from random Reddit threads about nice guys that I found. I went to lunch on a first date with a very short fellow and it was really nice. We smoked a blunt he rolled and ate burgers and fries at the park. Nice and casual, no red flags. That night he asked if I wanted to come over and order a pizza. He mentions he has never had my favorite pizza place which does not deliver to his house, so I agree to pick up the pizza. I go to his house, we hook up for like an hour and I see it's time to pick up the pizza. I grab my keys and tell him I'll be back in 20 minutes with a pizza. He follows me to my car, looks me in the eyes and says, "I love you." I have no idea what to say back as I hardly even know this man. When I don't say I love you back immediately, he starts listing all the reasons I should love him. He bought me lunch, he was so nice, no girl gives him a chance, he can roll awesome blunts, he has a nice house, etc. At this point I try to calm him down and say I'll go grab the pizza and we'll keep talking when I get back and he starts flipping out. "I bet you're not even coming back. Why are you leaving now? Well, it was nice knowing you." I get in my car silently and he goes to the porch and starts silently waving. As I start to back out, he screams, "Please don't leave me," and looks like he's crying. I got the pizza, went home, and ate alone. He continued to get progressively more desperate and mean online and through text until he blocked me on everything. I fully intended to go back until he said, "Please don't leave me." The saddest part was him repeating, "I'm from California," like somehow that would change my mind. Also, when I say short, he was 4 foot. It's the most memorable date of my life. I'm not saying the guy wasn't acting like a child, but why wouldn't you go get the pizza together? If you were hooking up and had planned on eating pizza together, then it does seem weird to say you're going to get it by yourself. He didn't want to go. I asked him multiple times to either ride with me to pick it up or go to the restaurant, which I actually preferred to do. I had dressed nice in case he wanted to go out, but we had smoked and he felt too stoned to venture out. I fully intended to come back with the pizza until he started screaming from his porch. He also was blowing up my phone the entire time when he knew the pizza place was a good 15-minute drive. He was frantic I wasn't returning after I was gone 10 minutes and started getting angry after 20 minutes. By the time I left the pizza place, he had blocked me on Facebook and assumed I wasn't coming back. I understand anxiety, but he was downright delusional. Saying "I love you" on a second date? Also, I paid for the weed and the pizza and felt really sad when he blocked me. The hookup had been fun. He had a real chance until he got in his own head and chased me away. Well, that's how it always goes with these guys who say "I love you" to people they barely know. He said he was too stoned to go to the store though. Maybe he just had a panic attack or something. Maybe we're finally seeing that reefer madness we always hear about. I've got a nice girl story. I dated this girl who was insecure but very nice to me during my senior year of high school. She ended up being the worst person I've ever met about 2 weeks after. She brought beer to school and told the principal I did it because she thought I'd take the blame for her to show how much I love her. I didn't take the blame, of course. Getting in trouble on purpose to make your significant other take the blame, proving their love. Yeah, that's a new one. Why not just drink the beer and not get in trouble? Okay, posts are from Reddit Nice Guys. Just a little tip for the girls out there to help provide insight into the dating game if you want to see more success for yourself, because helping guys helps you in return. If the guy is always the one texting first, it can show something important. You are uninterested. That's cool. Just let him know so he doesn't waste his time feeding your ego. If you don't want someone holding on to you at arm's length. How many times have we seen a woman say up front she's not interested and the guy flipped out on her? "Oh, don't flatter yourself. I was doing you a favor by talking to you, you fat ugly 2 out of 10. That may be the reason a lot of women don't do that. Just to see what their options are out there while they take their sweet time. Don't do it to other people. Simple. This helps you on a macro level as an entire gender by helping keep the good guys alive and available and chasing high-quality women. If you kill the inspiration and waste our time, you may not know this, but that hurts you back by forming blanket stereotypes against you. Don't be one of those beta females. Be high quality. Do what's right and don't waste his time. He will see you as respecting of his time and he won't pass along his bad experiences with you to his next interests. If you think this is just my experience, check out the MGTOW movement on YouTube. It's a bigger problem than you think. Feminism is killing the endangered race of good and nice guys out there. You can tell this guy's high quality as well by the way he threatens to tell his next girlfriend on you. Exactly. When we worked together a few years ago, he literally asked the same girl out every week. Every single time she said no, and he would wait a week and ask again. Huh. Answer, bitch. Fuck you, bitch. Don't worry, you couldn't because you're dog. What the fuck kind of stupid answer is that? I could have been there for you, because I've lost dogs too, dumb bitch. But you want to say that you can't be with me because your dog is dying. Good lord, you dickhead. Maybe wait until her dog isn't dying? Could you imagine anything more annoying than this? About to just turn into a fuckboy. Seems like being the good guy that everyone wants ain't cutting it. I have decided to be an inconsiderate piece of shit because no one deserves all the appreciation and care and affection I give, so I won't bother being nice. Honestly, I'm done. Apparently he had already released someone's nudes for not wanting to date him, so it wasn't much of a jump to inconsiderate piece of shit. Traveling to Japan tomorrow and have a question about the females. Hello, I will be arriving in Tokyo tomorrow and I would like to ask something. This of course isn't the main purpose of my trip, but I was wondering what is the best way to find a single female Japanese female? Like what locations are the best place to find them? Also, what is the best place to take them on a first date and what kind of gifts do they enjoy? I am traveling from the States, so I would greatly appreciate any information from those who have a Japanese girlfriend themselves. Thanks. Oh god, I'm almost certain this next one is by Russell Greer, the guy who sued Taylor Swift for not wanting to date him. So apparently being nice to somebody is worth being shamed over. These are the simple, kind messages I sent, and I get blasted as being a pathetic ass by her and her friends who have to use Instagram filters to post a photo. I simply commented on a photo on her post about girls being less picky, and the next thing I know, all of her ghetto thug friends are talking crap. I'm posting this as my free speech right to show that I do jack shit to people, and that apparently makes me the bad guy. It's not really the messages he sent that make him pathetic, it's more that he just is Russell Greer and has written many nice guy diatribes like this by now. Okay, I found our last story for the day. Oh, I have a doozy of a nice guy, but it's a long story altogether. So to preface this story, the nice guy in question was part of my D&D friend group and was dating my friend. We'll call her V. The guy in the story that we'll call D was the oldest one of the group, and I was the youngest. He was 25, I think, and I was still in high school, so like 17. My friends were all between those two ages. There are so many stories, but we'll start with when I first met him. We all go over to D's basement to hang out and probably play video games. This dude had a massive Warhammer setup, which is what I noticed, and was the only one who was obsessed with Transformers. He was unfortunate looking. We were a bunch of comic book dwellers, but at least all of us showered regularly, wore deodorant, and washed our hair. We were the type of nerds that if you saw us on the street, each individual one of us wouldn't look that weird. Altogether, though, we would give off a big pale kids vibe, but each of us alone was alright. D looked like he lived under a bridge. He was tall, skinny fat, and generally greasy and blonde in that washed out way where his general appearance just turned gray. I wouldn't have cared except for the events that transpired. I'm brought into the basement and I think it's a pretty cool setup. I look over all the Warhammer stuff, my friends are all catching up with D, normal conversation type stuff. V calls me over, she being the other girl in the group, and introduces me to D. This is my boyfriend D, this is his place. She had mentioned him plenty of times and my guy friends all knew they were dating. D did nod in acknowledgement of what she was saying. Yeah, it's nice, I say. V then goes over to talk to another one of our friends, leaving me alone with D. He's just staring at me. I'm pretty familiar with awkward people, so I think nothing of it. I know you, he says. I smile like, I don't think so, but maybe. Some of the guys at the shop would say similar stuff, as I'm kinda loud and hard to miss. I know you to nerd guys can basically mean I've seen you around before, so it's not surprising for anyone to say this. He lowers his voice and just tries to intensify his stare. I've seen you in my dreams, floating over me naked. You and I share a destiny. He says this like it's something serious and also a compliment. In typical fashion, I just say, that's weird as fuck because I've never dreamed about you. And I just walk over to hang out with our friends. Most of the evening is great because I love my friends, but there was always a little flavor of weird because D kept trying to touch me. Nothing overt, but just hand on my shoulder, or arm, or leg. This is made especially strange because we're comic book kids and being overly touchy is pretty taboo. My guy friend started sitting between us and eventually ended up flanking me on both sides because he just kept trying to sit next to me. At this point, he suggested they move the table forward so he could sit on the floor between my legs, and they just had to tell him no, they weren't going to help him do that. I also said no to helping as I'm pretty strong, but heck no. He tried, but he wasn't strong enough to move the table by himself, and finally my friend V was like, why don't you just sit with me? God, these kinds of scenes are always so awkward. Everyone's just trying to protect the youngest member of their group from this older guy who won't leave her the fuck alone and also can't figure out he's doing something wrong somehow. Presumably he's alright normally. I'm amazed his girlfriend could put up with this kind of scene in the slightest. At this point, she's an innocent because he was her first boyfriend and she was super oblivious even though she was older than me. She remained oblivious through most of our encounters. The evening ends and D recommends we all stay over. There isn't really space for it, but he says we'll all share an air mattress. That sounds like a nightmare, and my friends remind him that I'm in high school and probably need to be heading home and they'll drop me off. He offers to drive me. This is insane because he's already home and my friends live pretty close to me. They just stare at him and tell him no, it's okay, they got it. I give all my friends hugs, especially V because we were close at this time and she was spending the night with D so she wasn't riding back with us. D wraps his arms around me in this intensely close hug and I don't even pretend to hug back. My more aggressive guy friend at this point gives him a gentle shove to pry him off because he's not budging and we leave. Things were consistently gross and entitled on his end, and I began a vicious put-down campaign against him, hoping if I was mean he'd lose interest. This went on for 3 years. My friends refused to let me harm him physically, and I respected them. No matter how much I just openly hated him and insulted him, he assumed I would magically fall in love with him if he just kept at it. I was bullied for years in school, and I hate for it to happen to anyone, but this guy basically acted like I was his property. Since I wasn't going to put him in the ground and I wasn't going to give up my friends, I didn't see another recourse. Good lord, fuck this guy. Maybe I'll see if the author's still active and has more stories. Let me know if you'd like that in the comments. Anyway, that's about all the time I have for you today. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you liked the video, please leave a like or a dislike. If you got something to say, let me know in the comments, because that's part of engagement. It helps my channel. If you're new and want more content like this, I'd suggest subscribing for more of the same. Thanks also to my generous patrons, who I will be shouting out soon here, probably tomorrow. They help me with my demonetization problems. I'm all quarantined and shit, but thankfully booze is essential. I actually have a lot of Reddit relationships material and stuff like that. Let me know what I've been covering that you'd like to see more of. I'll call tomorrow's video an Easter special, but I still don't know what it's going to be. We'll see. Have a great day, everyone, and enjoy your quarantine. We'll have to go back to interacting with people eventually.